And welcome to the 72 PC Podcast, the only podcast where you can join the conversation and the game. This week's game is Battlefield 4. We're changing it up again, so if you have Battlefield 4, you probably already have me added. If you're listening, join us. With us this week, we have Eric.
Well, hello.
Deep, sultry voice. And we have Tom.
Yeah.
I guess.
You guess? What's up, fellas?
Maybe.
We missed last week, so I'm glad we're casting this week.
Yeah. People might be like, where the fuck are they? Actually, I had a friend shoot me a screenshot of our schedule, and it said next Saturday. And literally, he's like, you fucking liars.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry.
That is great. I needed a day off. I literally took that day and I did nothing for the entire day. So I've been calorie counting. I've been like tracking stuff. I didn't even do that. I just said I'm putting in a baseline calorie. I'm eating whatever the fuck I want. I'm sitting on this couch. I'm not doing shit. It was magical.
Those days are always nice.
You need those days sometimes.
It was great.
Yeah. Very, very great.
Quick aside,
So,
is the stream choppy for anybody? It looks a little choppy in my OBS window. I just wanted to make sure everything was
mine
okay.
is frozen, but mine usually is frozen because I've got it on like low priority.
Yeah.
I'll have to go pop that up. Let's take a peek, shall we? No, you look all nice and you look pretty good. Nothing too bad.
Okay. Perfect.
Perfect.
I was a little worried because we're switching the game up. It might be a little weird, but
yeah, I think
if it is,
good.
that'll be all right. But yeah, I'm dropping some frames, but it's okay.
It's
probably a Spectrum thing or a
full
computer
spectrum
thing. Dobby says it's rough.
Oh, Dobby's out there saying it's rough.
Dang. Okay.
Do we need to make an audible?
Let's roll with it for now. I'll see if I can change some settings around.
All right. So we'll roll with it. By rolling with it, I mean, what are we going to do to pass time? Tom, so what all did you accomplish in your day off?
Well, I did complete Night in the Woods. So that is the game where... How do I want to explain this? You play as a girl who happens to be a cat in a world where everybody is an animal, but there's also like regular animals, and I'm very confused. It's basically where you drop out of college and you go back to your small hometown and like everything's changed, but nothing has changed, and they have like an economic blight, and the pizza place, Possibilities, goes out of business, and you have an existential crisis about being stuck in the same place and needing to move on, but not really having any options. It's great. It's a really fun, uplifting time.
Good. Also, I was absolutely not intending you to go the gaming route.
Yeah, I know. So I completed that game. I enjoyed the hell out of it, but damn, it's got some feelings, and it wasn't exactly light there at the end. But it was fun.
Good.
Maybe fun's the wrong word. I enjoyed the experience.
Yeah.
Hey, sad things can be fun as long as they're not happening to you. Wow, that sounds...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm not going to say
Wait
that again.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I realized how that was
as long as they're
sounding.
not happening to you.
When I said 3/4 of that sentence, I realized I needed to shut up about 2 seconds earlier.
I get it. See, you need some medication, and there's an old couple, and you just brutally murder them in their apartment while they're sheltering from a war that's going on outside.
No.
And
See,
it's fine.
it's all about morality and teaching morality. And the morality is you don't fucking lie. You tell me you have no meds, you better not have meds. You tell me you have no meds and you have meds, I kill you.
Oh.
Because you lied to me.
I get it.
Is that eye for an eye? Lies.
What was
that? I mean, is a lie worth a murder? Is that how that works?
I mean, killing's part of life. That's how you live. So yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Interesting.
I gotta say, I've never killed anybody before. So
Well, I didn't say anybody. I mean, I'm just saying like death is part of life.
Yeah.
So
I guess
yeah.
so.
Anyway, no, but just trying to morality make myself not sound like an asshole for pushing an old man down the stairs after I killed his wife.
Yeah.
In the video game, right?
In it, yeah. In a video game, obviously, hopefully. Okay. So It looks like it's running a little better for me, Adam.
Is it good? Okay.
I think
I
it's running
turned
better.
the video settings in game down a little bit, so hopefully it holds up. If it gets bad again, I can try turning them down some more. Just let me know in the chat.
Right.
But I think we're good to roll for now.
Ah.
Small hiccups,
So
no
I
big.
had some Pizza Hut for the first time last night in a while.
Really?
You're a big
Man,
Pizza
I
Hut
love
guy,
Pizza
aren't
Hut.
you? Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I like their pepperoni. They typically come out nice and crispy, got their stuffed crust. And while it wasn't like crispy bottom crust, it was a lot better than the Papa John's, like folds instantly and still halfway doughy pop or stuffed crust. Like, their stuffed crust is fucking garbo.
I have not found good stuffed crust. Like, I don't think I've ever had stuffed crust where I went back and said, oh my god, I need to have this again. It's always just like, that was fine, I guess.
I prefer stuffed crust, but it just doesn't always turn out very well.
Our old high school, of all places, actually used to do a really good stuffed crust. Like,
yeah, we had like we had the regular lunch line, and then we had the like
the
college cafeteria a la carte line, basically.
Yeah, it was actually legit.
Like bacon cheeseburgers and pizza and
Fiesta
sticks, which were basically just giant taquitos.
Yes, that they gave you nacho cheese sauce to dip in.
Yeah, those were good. Those were
really good. That was actually like one of the best things. Like, I really, really dug that. Oh, I just killed Adam. That means we're on the wrong squad.
How dare you?
Tom and I are on the right squad. You get on our squad.
I helped kill you too. That was great.
I was like, who's shooting at me? And then I saw a different guy, and it was Eric. How dare you?
But yeah, like, our high school was probably the best, but honestly, like, Pizza Hut stuffed crust is solid. It's not undercooked garbage. Like, that's typically my issue with stuffed crust pizza. I love the idea of stuffed crust. When done right, it's awesome. But it's so easy for them to fuck up because they either don't cook it long enough or they burn the fuck out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, my problem lately has been they don't cook it long enough, and I hate it so much. There's nothing in this world that is more disappointing to me than an undercooked pizza.
Agreed.
Like, burn it a little, whatever, but do not undercook my pizza. I hate it.
I don't mind a little bit of crisp on the pizza. Like, I recently made a pizza in the oven. I usually keep it in for an extra minute or two just to, crisp up those pepperoni, get the edge a little bit brown, a little bit crunch. Yeah.
If the pepperoni isn't slightly curling and almost gets that bacony flavor, it's not quite done yet.
Agreed.
Yeah. There's actually a type of pepperoni that curls, and it's something to do with how the sausage casing is.
Oh.
I saw that on a food cooking channel. By the way, if you like watching cooking shows or cooking videos on YouTube and stuff, J. Kenji Lopez Alt. I know that's kind of a mouthful, but it's one of the dudes that Binging with Babish took a lot of influence from as far as cooking and stuff. And he does that sort of, not quite as wacky as Alton Brown, but he does that kind of get into the science of cooking and why things work the way they do and like actually experimenting and stuff.
I love that shit.
So
that's
just
what I'm getting.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite cooking YouTube channel. Because it's just literally him cooking in his kitchen with very, very few like cuts or edits. Like, it's just like the whole time. And then if he's waiting on something, if you have to bake something for an hour, he'll cut it there. But like when he's cutting up everything and getting everything ready, he'll talk a little bit about stuff, what he's using, or why you should do it this way versus this way, and why doing it this way makes the breading crispier than normal because the certain molecules interacting with the proteins and stuff. Like, he gets into it, and it's just a really good channel. It's really interesting.
That's what I love. Like, Alton Brown is one of my favorite people to watch cooking because to me, I'm the kind of person of don't tell me what to do, tell me why to do it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And because then I can actually adapt that to other things that are like that. Rather than if you just tell me to do this, I don't know why, I can't really apply it in other scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and you're going to retain it more if you know the why instead of just knowing the what. Like, if somebody says, oh, well, if you do it this way, this shit will happen, you're going to remember that.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the fact that he almost had his show. It was almost like it was made for kids, only his humor was definitely not. He was just using like Muppets and shitty ass things and puppets and shit.
He's
But
the
he made
Bill
raunchy ass
fucking
jokes.
Nye. He's a Bill fucking Nye of food.
Yeah, he is. That's
actually
a really
good way of putting
yeah.
it.
That's
A slightly
perfect.
more grown up version of Bill Nye.
Yeah. I gotta say this though, Renee and I watch a lot of Iron Chef. Can I get fuck Bobby Flay in the chat, please? Because fuck Bobby Flay.
I've never really watched him. Someone I've
I've
actually
seen
been
some of
growing
his-
He's
fond
a
of.
prick.
Is he?
He's an amazing chef, but he's an ungodly prick.
Guy Fieri. I
Fieri.
actually have been kind of digging him recently. Like I've been watching
seems
some
like a
shows
cool
with
dude,
him
yeah.
on it. Yeah,
I like Guy, but unfortunately, Renee and I did that thing where we did research on a person. Turns out he is nowhere near as wholesome as his PR people make
Oh.
him seem.
Unfortunate.
yeah, but I mean that tends to be. I don't want to say
Yeah.
that sounds kind of pessimistic, but
No,
there's a
you're
lot
right.
of people like
it
that.
does tend to be that. There's like one exception to that rule, which is you watch every expose and in-depth documentary on Mr. fucking Rogers, and
No, there's nothing.
yeah, it turns out the man is just a goddamn saint.
There's
Magazine
nothing.
hires a dude to get a story to uncover something, and he gets a guy that literally was cynical of him to be on his deathbed, pretty much. Like it's just insane. Like he is an amazing dude. The whole fish story that I think you've told on the cast before,
Oh my god,
eating the fish.
he's beautiful. The man is just beautiful.
And honestly, the documentary having Tom Hanks play him like that was just so fucking good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed every fucking second of that. But yes, I actually didn't cook shit like any noteworthy this week. I'm excited. Tom and his wife are officially in the not going to die zone, so maybe soon we do some cookings.
We are vaxxed, we are waxed, we are ready to party.
I'm still wanting to know what the waxed part of this is, but yes.
You don't want to know.
All right. I'll let that stand at that. Well, I really don't have any other bullshit to talk about. Do you guys just want to kind of...
Get into
All
the
right,
games?
I've been playing Rocket League without the chat on because it was just chill vibes. So I
Yeah.
literally put on my headset last night, sat a beer down next to me, and played Rocket League, no chat, with some chill tunes, and just vibed out for hours. It was great. Like casual, Rumble, snow day. It was great.
Nice.
Yeah, no chat, Rocket League. Like if I'm playing solo queued ranked, which is something I don't ever do anymore, but no chat Rocket League was definitely the play for solo queue ranked. Casual, I like keeping it on just because you get some interesting conversation sometimes.
You just have to be slightly thick-skinned. If you're
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
if
yeah.
you can get through people flaming you, you can run into some really cool people.
Yeah, for sure.
But you have to be willing to sift through some shit because let's be honest, most competitive video games have awful communities.
Yeah.
Like I think
Yeah.
like I'm coming to terms. We need to stop saying Dota's community is the worst, Rocket League's community is the worst. If there's a competitive scene on the game, they're all equally fucking awful. And to like, you'll always have an occasional shitbird,
Mhm.
but the amount of shitbirds you reach when you're playing games like Fall Guys and shit like that, it's so much less. Granted, Fall Guys makes it hard, but
I could see
yeah,
that.
just
I would
competitive.
like to see a game named Occasional Shitbirds, and that's how the community is.
Yeah. Oh, I want to call out because I think they turned out looking really well or really good. The F1 cars dropped for DLC for Rocket League. I didn't buy them because F1's not my thing, but they did look good. So just calling it out. It's a thing. It's there.
Cool.
How did your rank matches go?
Did you rank up?
Rank
Yeah,
up?
yeah, I did. In Rumble a little bit. I think I ended up even in Snow Day, and then casual. It's just I've realized that my Snow Day and Rumble MMRs are way better than my casual. Because like Rumble, I'll go in, people know what they're doing, they can generally hit the ball in the air, and I realize in this community, that's like the least amount of skill ever. But for me, it's kind of nice when people can hit the ball in the air, especially after playing in houses. But yeah, casual, not the case at all. I think I'm playing with silvers and golds.
Well, okay. So keep in mind what your rank, like you, me, and Dobby, just like, fuck it, let's chill and play ranked. But your casual, we never really chill and play casual with you.
Yeah.
Your casual MMR has gotten no fucking love, but your ranked MMR has actually reflected your increase as a player.
And I have like fluctuations. Sometimes when I'm playing casual, because my MMR is so garbage compared to every other mode, I'm the star. I'm the goddamn star. I'm making saves. I'm hitting shots. I'm great. Other times I'm just fucking own goaling. That's it. That's my job.
Somebody's got to do it.
I love the own goals. Yeah, talking about another shitbird game. Dota now, there's no compendium for Dota this year. Since last year's TI never happened, they're just using the prize money for that, and they're doing a esport support thing. You buy packs to support the teams you like. And I had a team brought to my attention that's a tier 2 DPC team. So Dota, their pro scene is split into tiers. You have your top tier teams like EG, Liquid, and the teams that everyone knows. And you have your tier 2 teams, which are trying to play their way up into tier 1. Kind of like European soccer, how they have like the demotion and stuff. And how Rocket League used to be with RLCS, RLRS. Well, there is a tier 2 team. Well, they just won today to make it to tier 1. It's fully anonymous. The only public figure on the team is their manager. Valve knows who all the players are. No one else does.
That's kind of cool.
That's kind of cool.
And I guess like they're kind of they talk shit in the game, like they're willing to flame a little bit to play like that. And they had a announcement video calling out all the players by their code names. And yeah, like they had this whole satanic metal intro video. It's really fucking good. There's rumors that they think the players are actually casters. Like,
that'd be weird.
BSJ is one of the guys I really watch. I kind of like him, but it's rumored he might be one of the players. So like, this is just this whole cool concept of like, potentially we have these known personalities from Dota that are on anonymously on a team that actually just made tier 1. But
I really like that. It's quite literally the opposite of Team Secret, where they said, how much star power can we pack into one team?
Yeah, I just thought it was a really cool concept. I don't want to talk much about Dota this cast, but that and just in general esports, the idea of having an entire team that's anonymous except for their manager. So yeah, I thought that was pretty fucking cool.
That is pretty neat.
I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Snap. Been playing a whole lot of Pokemon Snap. So I beat Snap, rolled credits. Everyone, before I say anything, play the game you want to play it. I'm not going to spoil anything. At least I don't think it's spoilery. If you're super concerned about what you might be able to do post game, maybe zone out. But that's all I'm going to talk about. I'm not talking about how to do shit. Do yourself a favor. Beat the game before you do anything else, because once you beat the game, you already unlock like high scores for like your total scores for all your pictures that counted. But once you beat the game, you unlock what they call course high scores. So you start doing high scores for each course, and it goes to leaderboards against all your friends. And you don't unlock this shit until you beat the game. So don't spend all your fucking time grinding out the perfect scores and then beat the game, because then your high scores won't reflect it, which kind of sucks. But it's really good. It's a really, really, really good game. I kind of want to play the old 64 one because I think this one might actually be better. Oh. And I'm just thinking I might be using rose tinted glasses, but it's really fucking good. I really can't say too much without spoiling, because there's a lot of like things that eventually become standard that you're used to that aren't standard until you realize they're there. But it's good. Play it. Do yourselves a favor. If you enjoyed the first one, fucking play this. That's all I got. That's all I'm saying.
I'm gonna pick it up eventually. I've just had too much to finish, including now. I signed myself up for 180 hours, roughly, of a game, of 3 games.
180 hours.
I bought Mass Effect. I bought the new Legendary Edition.
Yeah, I gotta play that. I'm going to be getting that at some point.
It's good. It's fun. It's just fun.
I heard that it was done really well, and everything but human faces look really good.
Yeah, and it doesn't look bad. Like it. Okay, I can't say that. It looks bad compared to like what you would expect from a modern game. It does not look bad compared to the OG Mass Effect.
Yeah, and I heard that like the work of it, like the other things actually look good. It's just certain faces up close look not so hot.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I think's expected. This isn't like a full remake.
Yeah.
So it's
how's it
really
play?
Fun. It plays like I would expect Mass Effect to play. It feels a little bit smoother in the shooting. I haven't gotten to the Mako bits. Like I've probably been maybe an hour or two into the game. So this is like first impression kind of shit I'm talking about. But yeah, it works. I have noticed that Mass Effect 1 is definitely the more awkward feeling of all the Mass Effect games, just because it was the first one. They're getting their feet wet. So it's not amazing. It doesn't feel like Mass Effect 3. It still has its own kind of identity, which I guess is good. But it doesn't feel wonderful, I should say. It feels how it should if you were expecting Mass Effect 1. It does not feel like Mass Effect 3.
Yeah. Well, because Mass Effect 1 was still super heavy RPG influence, where 2 and 3 were more action-y, shooter-y.
Yeah, Mass Effect 3 feels very good. Like, if you're playing Mass Effect 3 like you would play Gears of War, it doesn't feel that good, but it feels pretty good.
Hold on. Were you jumping between the games?
No. I'm talking about, like, in general.
Okay. I was going to say, I'm like, you fucking heathen.
No. You start... you literally launch the game and it gives you three choices. Like, okay, you can launch Mass Effect 1, 2, or 3, and then it minimizes the launcher and opens up the game. Like, it feels like 3 different games, 3 different binaries in one pack, which is kind of weird.
Like, I know that this is not player friendly, but I would have loved it. Like, you put it in and they're like, whoop, Mass Effect 1, start, here you go. You want to play Mass Effect 3? Beat the first 2.
Here's the cool thing. You can actually import your old save. So if you like played through Mass Effect 1 and 2 and didn't want to buy Mass Effect 3 or haven't played it for whatever reason, if you bought Legendary, yeah, your old saves will just carry over. It'll just import your shit with all of your choices.
That's really cool.
It is really, really neat.
Yeah, I will get this because I do need to play those games. Those were not games that I passed on because I didn't think I would enjoy them. I didn't have a 360 initially, and I never beat 1 before 2 came out, and I never beat 1 or 2 before 3 came out, and then I just lost scope of it. So yeah, I will be doing this.
It's a commitment. Buckle up, Buttercup. You're there for like at least 100 hours, I would say.
Oh
if I do this, it pretty much means that my Monster Hunter's done until it comes for PC.
Yeah.
Because it's already taken a back seat because of Snap. And I never did finish it all the way. Like, I've gotten to the harder shit where you're on the high tier stuff, but I never actually finished it all the way yet. So it'll probably take a backseat to Mass Effect. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the hell out of it. It's cool because there are, and this is just classic Mass Effect, there are choices you'll make in the first game that don't seem like very big things that will have repercussions in the third.
Which is really cool. I love that shit. Now I understand the ending high level, so yeah, whatever. But up until then, that's fucking awesome.
And one of the things that really plagued Mass Effect 2 and 3 was EA being EA and saying, oh my god, this is amazing. We're going to lock a bunch of story content behind DLC. So if you didn't buy the DLC, or if you bought the game like initially and didn't ever like upgrade it with more content, you're losing story segments. Like you're just missing out on decent chunks of that story. So this comes with basically everything in one pack.
Which is that's real. Well, I mean, expected at this point, but it's almost like a game of the year. But yeah,
exactly. You're not losing out.
If they were to release that as DLC on this, I think that they understand what kind of repercussion or like fallout would have happened.
I would have been pissed if they said, "Okay, we're giving you the base 3 games and none of the DLC." I wouldn't have bought it.
Everyone would have been pissed.
I wanted one pack, like one double click the menu item in Steam to play all of the Mass Effects in perfect HD with all the DLC and everything in one game. And that's what I got.
One game to rule them all.
And not only that, they actually fixed major issues. This is kind of like a extremely slight spoiler. It's been a while. I'm going to just say it. So Mass Effect 3, there's this squad member who's always in their suit. You never actually see their face unless you unlock their romance option. So you actually get a photograph on your desk of this person, and what pissed people off is BioWare just used a generic stock image and they like painted some alien shit on her face and like, look, it's her, and everyone's like, nah dog, it ain't, it really ain't. So they actually fixed her face when you look at that portrait now, because somebody imported an old save file to get to that portion of the story early. They completely changed it. So they're actively fixing old shit and old issues in the game, which is really neat. They haven't fixed everything, right? But this has a lot of love and care put into it. It is really, really easy to tell, even just from the surface. EA did a bang-up job with this, and it is worth every penny.
Did they actually have BioWare do this, or did they commission it out to someone else?
I actually don't know.
Because typically a lot of these, sounds weird and feels weird, but a lot of times these type of remakes actually happen from third-party teams.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
So I need to look into that because I'm not sure. But if you haven't played through all the Mass Effect games, if you're looking for an excuse to get into it, this is basically as good of a chance as you're ever going to get.
Ooh. So 2 weeks ago, last cast, I kind of high level talked about AIM Labs. I got under the covers more. Yeah, man, they let you do some shit. So I was able to say my main game's Tarkov. And then when I did that, it said, choose what your helmet and armor are. So that it would actually adjust your rotational speeds based on your equipment that you'd be typically running in Tarkov.
Well, shit.
I also saw that for Rainbow Six Siege, they've got like actual, like some of the maps where you can do drills for specific situations.
Yes, they do that with Rainbow and they do that with Valorant, and I think CS.
That's pretty cool.
But I've been doing that every time before I play Tarkov. I use it. I'll go through an entire session, and then through the week, every once in a while, I will say I have noticed myself getting actually better.
You slaughtered a team today.
Yeah. So to the point where I just had the best rate of my life in Tarkov before the cast. So, okay, I'm going to die a lot here because I'm going to talk about this engagement. This is fucking cool. So Rob, Adam, and I were running as a 3-stack. It was pretty uneventful. We're checking out some spots. We go to the gas station at Customs. Adam goes out the front, starts getting shot at. So he comes back in. We're trying to figure out where they're at. Rob goes around back. Adam and I start pushing out front. When we're doing this, we're a lot of fire back and forth. I peek into the checkpoint. I see a dude's head pop in the window. He misses me. I swipe and bam, headshot him dead. Awesome. All of a sudden, I hear Rob say, shit, I'm dead. I look at the road. Since Rob had flanked off from us, this dude is running right at him, thinks Rob's the only one. Out in the middle of nowhere, just boom, click him, headshot, he's dead. All of a sudden, there's another one there in this field in front of the gas station. Adam's going back and forth with him. I'm pivoting around, can't find him. And this guy just seemingly disappears. So I go into the checkpoint, start looting out the shit. The dude reappears. Adam gets him with a fucking frag while I'm trying to get better position on him. While Adam's in there trying to get on that dude, there's another guy starts jumping up on this crate from the other side of this wall out of nowhere. Starts trying to snipe in at Adam. Doesn't realize I'm in the building directly next to him, staring at him from a fucking window. So I'm crouched, take my time, line up the perfect headshot. Click. Dude's still there. Turns right at me. I shot the fucking window with the barrel, but the red dot was on his head. So I panic, stand up, double tap him, chest, head, drop him. Adam and I wipe 4 people in this exchange. It was fucking nuts.
There was a lot.
So much loot. So much loot.
Well, and also one of those guys had killed another guy right there too. So
yeah,
there was like multiple teams interacting in that area. It was kind of chaotic, but also really.
Being onto them. Like my snaps weren't going past. They were on. And then bam, one quick adjustment right to the head. I was like, okay,
nice.
Okay. Doing this a few times a week is helping. Like I missed a couple times on that one dude. I panicked, but yeah. So anyone who plays shooters, get into Aim Lab. It's worth it and it's free.
Did you end up lowering your sensitivity at all?
No.
Just gotten used to it?
I'm just getting used to it.
Nice.
Well, because when you're looking down the sights, it slows it down some for you. And when I'm running around, I want it snappy.
Yeah.
Because I want to be able to check that corner real quick. Like if I'm not aiming, I want to be able to just look at it.
I think that's my main issue with shooters and not necessarily Aim Lab, but that kind of practice. When I'm vibing out, when I'm practicing, I know that there's nothing at stake. But like in Tarkov or PUBG, I'm like, oh god, it's a circle. Oh god, I gotta get ready for this. Oh fuck, I can't fuck it up. Oh god, I'm fucking it up. Oh god, I have to stop fucking it up. Oh god, I'm fucking it up even worse. And that was it. That like I get myself into this headspace where I just completely fuck it up because I get nervous and essentially just I fuck it up.
Well, that's where the things like Aim Lab are great because you start out thinking about it. And I mean, I'm still mostly in that same state, but eventually you don't think about it. That's the beauty. That's how we're able to do the Rocket League without even thinking about it during cast. We're just fucking doing shit because it starts to become more muscle memory. You don't have to think about it as much. Your positioning and shit, a whole different story. But the actual aiming aspect.
See, then if you panic and you make a bad decision, your aim is fine. It's just that you did something stupid instead.
Yes, your aim can be what bails you out.
It frees up your anxiety to panic on something completely different.
Yes, the panic's no longer will I be able to kill him. The panic is he actually where I think he is?
So let's talk about the exact opposite of a game you have to care about. I played Just Cause 4 because it hit Xbox Game Pass.
God, those games are so much fun.
You know what you do in Just Cause? You blow shit up.
Why?
That's it. Because it's fun.
That's it.
No! Come on.
What?
No, that's
Just
it.
cause. Just cause.
No.
Just cause. No.
Come on, man. I set you up for the awful dad joke.
No.
Fuck you guys. No, I remember
it's only funny when it annoys you.
True. Doing Ribs Fest and us passing a controller on Just Cause 2. There was like 5 of us sitting around a TV just passing the controller, connecting tethers to propane tanks to cows and sending them off into fucking space.
Yep.
It's just a good, goofy action sandbox where you can do ridiculous things and feel powerful.
Is GTA or Saints Row, if they even cared less and said, you know what, we want a little more physics for you to have fun with?
Yeah.
My main issue is I fired it up and then they made me do a story mission.
Oh, come on.
Fuck that.
Nobody wants to do a story mission.
I mean, it only took 10 minutes, right? But they made me take 10 minutes away.
That's not why you're there for.
Shit up. Yeah, exactly. So after that, I tethered myself to a plane and then used my parachute and like wingsuit to fly and attach tethers to buildings and cars and propane tanks and cows and blew everything up. And that was it. That's
That
the
is
whole
just so
game.
much fun. Did you ever do the mod for 2 to play online?
It was amazing. Holy shit, it was amazing. It was Grand Theft Auto Online before Grand Theft Auto Online.
No one cared about any missions. It was all just fucking chaos.
It was perfect. It was just fucking perfect.
You know what game series I miss that Just Cause kind of fills the void? But you remember the Mercenaries games on PS2?
Yeah.
Those were fun sandboxes too, because you could actually call in like airstrikes, and there was a lot of like building destruction and stuff. You could level buildings out completely.
That came off like right off the. Was that right off the heels, or was Bad Company right off the heels of it? Because I remember that to me they felt a similar vein of they were like in your face, kind of goofy. Like we're aggressively goofy, if that makes sense. Like Mercenaries was all about like the over the top explosions and shit, right?
Yes, very much so. Yeah, you could literally you could like handcuff somebody and they'll be laying on the ground and you could call in a hydrogen bomb on them.
Oh god.
It was
Just a little
absurd.
overkill.
Yeah. But it had that same kind of just goofy, chaotic fun that Just Cause has.
So, speaking of goofy, chaotic fun, I found a new casual grind. Battlefront.
Yes.
Hey,
Star Wars Battlefront 2.
still enjoying
Since
it.
since the unfucking, I like if I don't know what to play, if I'm in one of those moods where I'm like, I don't really want to commit to anything, it's late and I'm alone and Resident Evil is too scary, I'll just fire up Battlefront 2. And it's just a chill, fun time. I'm finally, just like all like great Battlefield games, I'm finally getting to that level where I have enough gear and enough like star cards and enough additions to my guy to actually hold my own in a fight and not just get instantly steamrolled like I've been getting instantly steamrolled this entire game. But yeah, it's fun. Just jump in, accomplish some objectives, sit on some flags, and that's it. That's the game. Listen to some chill Star Wars tracks, and it's great.
Did you ever do their wave-based thing that they have in that game?
No, not yet.
Those are pretty fun, and they're pretty fucking. They can get pretty hard.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
try that.
It's a good chill game. Adam, you have a thing I've never heard of on yours.
Okay. All right. Let's get into this. I'm gonna have to pull up the Steam page because this game is weird. All right. The game is called Golden Light, and I bought it. I think I saw an article on PC Gamer or something talking about it, and it sounded interesting. So here's the Steam description. Eat weapons, be scared, and question your own mind in this survival horror FPS roguelike about meat.
Eat
Okay.
weapons.
Meat. Yes. And down here, it describes a little bit more. Golden Light is a procedural, dark comedy horror game with the roguelike elements and an eerie atmosphere. Descend into the depths of the gut to save your loved one. Okay, so it starts off, you're chilling in this field with the love of your life. I don't know if she's your wife or your girlfriend or whatever. And you see a rose, and you're like, oh, I'm going to go pick that rose for her. So you pick the rose, you turn around, you go to bring it to her, and then the ground opens up, and this giant hand comes up and grabs her and pulls her down into the depths. And you have to jump in this giant meat tunnel down into the evil meat world and progress through this roguelike to try to save her. The whole thing is this super weird, surreal, like low fidelity PS1 era style resolution with like nasty textures and ambiguously shaped enemies and stuff. It's like a weird David Lynch movie in a PS1 horror, but it's also kind of funny because of how goofy some of the stuff is, and it's a roguelike.
Oh.
It's an interesting blend of things, and I kind of like it. I mean, it's janky, but I like some of the things they're doing with it. So the main gameplay loop, typical roguelike thing, You have a hub world that you go to after you die, and you descend down to the elevator into the gut, which is the name of the meat world or whatever you want to call it. And you have to go down floors. The basic premise is you start in the starting room. There's an elevator that goes down to the next floor that is locked with multiple padlocks, and you have to find however many padlocks worth of keys sprawled out through this map. The problem is that this map is full of horrendous meat monsters, and you have to avoid them or fight them to get to the keys and get down to the next floor. From what I understand, there are, I think, 3-ish floors per biome, and I think there are a few different biomes that you can visit that have like a different visual style or whatever. So I haven't gotten very far into the game yet, so I've still only seen the first biome. But it's this, it's kind of like a house type area, really, really dark. And it's mostly, for the most part, it's a lot of like hallways and corridors and things. The thing with the monsters, though, is that most of them are mimics. So you have this prop hunt sort of thing going on where anything could be an enemy. It could be a book on a shelf. It could be a chair. It could be the computer on the desk. It could be a door that you're planning on going through.
Jesus.
Now, one of the, I think, best aspects horror-wise of this game is the sound and the sound design. Very unsettling. The game itself, very tense. It's not like pure horror experience because it is kind of janky and a little bit goofy too. But they do a good job with the horror element. And one of the ways you can identify these mimics is sound. So there will be breathing. A very creepy sounding breathing. But it's not obvious in the sense that, okay, I hear breathing, it's this thing, I just avoid it. The way the sound kind of propagates in the game is you hear the breathing, you hear the general direction of the breathing, and you can hear that it's close to you. But it could be that computer on the desk 10 feet away from you. But it could also be like on the other side of the wall in the other room, around the corner. And you don't know exactly which object it is. And of course, when you get close to them, guess what? It's a jump scare, and now you're in combat. So
Surprise!
Yeah. So mechanically, the way they kind of keep it a horror game and not just like a creepy action game is that combat is actually kind of not incentivized. So there are multiple notes throughout the floor that kind of help guide you and give you instructions, and a lot of them say, run. Don't try to fight, run. Because not only is the combat kind of like clunky intentionally, and you will take damage if you try to fight something. There's no out mechanicking the game. Everything is just, left click on the thing and you guys will exchange hits and maybe you'll kill the monster or whatever. But the game actually has a reputation system of the gut. So the gut has an opinion of you, which starts off relatively neutral. If you start killing monsters, the gut gets angry and the game gets harder.
Oh, interesting.
More monsters, harder monsters, that kind of thing. So you have to kind of stealth your way around and try to avoid the combat. And of course, in any horror game fashion, you're going to be forced into situations where you have to deal with that. Sometimes there will be a mimic that is this object in the middle of this hallway, which is a very narrow hallway, and you have to get to the other side of him because your key is going to be over there somewhere. So you have to either fight it or kind of enrage it and then try to run away and hide somewhere and then get around it. There's a lot of stuff like that. Another thing that makes the game kind of unique and a little bit unsettling too is kind of the more roguelike elements of the mechanics. So you have, first off, the floors are all randomized like most roguelike games. And then the items that you can pick up are also a little bit randomized. So if you find a weapon, that weapon could be alive or it could be dead because everything is made out of meat and this game is weird. So I picked up this axe and it was just like regular axe. The item description says it's dead, which means basically there's nothing special about it. It's just an axe and it has reduced damage. Now, I also found an axe that had this weird meat eyes growing all over the handle, and this weapon
Meat
is
eyes.
alive. Yes, it's like covered in meat and eyes and gross stuff. And this weapon is alive. It's an axe. It's alive. And that means it does full damage, and it has a status effect. That status effect might be fire damage. That status effect might be healing. That status effect might be attracts monsters to you. It could be multiple things that are either useful or detrimental. And also, some of the weapons apparently can talk, and they'll like give your position away because you make noise around the enemies, which is weird. And the weapons, because everything in this game is apparently made of meat, and it's weird and surreal. If your health gets low, you can choose to eat your weapon for health.
Oh.
So you're also balancing the items you find, not only as like a weapon and a way to defend yourself, but in a pinch, eat the axe, become healthy again. But if you eat a living weapon with a status effect, let's say that status effect is bleeding, right? If you eat that item to heal, you're also going to be bleeding.
That's interesting.
Other sets of items that you hold in your other hand are just, these are the randomized ones. So they kind of function a little bit like the pills do in The Binding of Isaac. So there are, say, 10 items. You know, there's one that's a fish head. There's one that's like a fetus or something. There's one that's a hand with eyes growing on it. There's one that's, it looks like a weird shrunken head thing. And each run, those don't all do the same thing. If you find a fish head one run, it might just be a healing item. If you find a fish head another run, it could be a incendiary grenade, essentially. And if you find multiple of the same item on the same run, you can start to identify them, which ones do what, and start to piece that together. So these left-hand items, you can use in two ways. You can eat it to, say, heal yourself if it's something like that, or like a strength buff or something like that. Or you can choose to throw it, and depending on what it does, it'll do different things. So if yours is a fire effect or whatever, you eat it, you catch on fire, life is bad. You throw it, it's a grenade, and life is good. So you have this whole dynamic of choosing, how much am I willing to risk to find out what all these things do, right? One of the things,
but it could be good reward, though.
It could be good reward because it could be something you can use to defend yourself or beat the bosses at the end of the floors or anything like that. I threw one because I was like, all right, my health is kind of low. I don't want to just eat this, even though if it was health, it'd be nice, but it could also be like a negative effect that's going to kill me. So I decided to throw it. And guess what that item did? It attracted all the monsters on the entire floor to that one area. Life was bad. Life was bad.
I'm assuming you didn't win that one.
No. I haven't gotten very far in the game yet. It's pretty hard. But yeah, it's just really unique. It's an interesting take on the roguelike thing because there's not a lot of horror roguelikes, and there's not a lot of roguelikes that you're really not supposed to do the combat a whole lot in. So it's
the
really
combat thing's really unique.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that. That's really cool.
Yeah, I do too. But yeah, there's just a lot of things that kind of, subvert your expectations of what video games do because you're not used to eating your own weapons and deciding, how to use your items. Another thing is,
I like the balance of the eating the weapons, though. That's a really cool balancing thing.
It's a cool balancing move, and it's just a lot of little things that make it unique. Like every floor has a map on it somewhere. It'll be hanging up on the wall. But you can attack the map, and it'll fall off the wall, and you can use it as an item. And it's technically a weapon. So you can actually hit people with the map if you really need to, even though the damage is garbage. Or you can have this portable map. But to do so, because the map is alive, it's technically a monster because everything is made out of meat and is apparently alive. I'm pretty sure that kind of angers the gut and lowers your reputation with the area because you're attacking something within the area. So you can decide between, all right, am I willing to make the game a little bit harder to be able to navigate this area really well? And you're going to spend a lot of time lost because
do you
even
build your own map eventually, or no map? You don't pick up that map. You don't get any map.
I think each floor has a map, so that's it. I think the first floor you get one right off the bat, and subsequent floors, I think you just have to find them, or maybe I just found one on my first one, like by happenstance.
What I mean is, like, so you pick up the map, they give you can use it. But like, if you go this area to that area to that area, does it map it for you, or do you still blind?
I'm actually not sure. I don't know if they're floor specific or not. I haven't played enough and gotten good enough to really test that out.
All right.
Let's see. I'm trying to think anything else about the game that's kind of cool. The hub world works kind of like most other games. I mean, you have a hub world that you go to when you die. There's a talking bike that's weird. You can use it to get around the hub world, which is kind of big, and you can find items within the hub world. There's like gold, which is the main currency that you can use to, like you can use it to increase your reputation with the area, or you can use it to reset to a different floor if you want to like go back and do an easy floor again to maybe get some items or something and then progress. Yeah, and I think there are multiple difficulties where you can play on an easy mode where when you die, you just pick up right where you left off each time. If you just want to get through the whole thing and see all the biomes and whatever story there is, I'm sure there's some kind of weird abstract story going on. There's a medium difficulty where I think when you die, you have to kind of restart whatever biome you were on, but I think you maintain progress between biomes. And then there's the hardcore roguelike edition where, all right, you're dead, start all the way over.
Which sounds rough, but I think that would make that even more fun, though, because then you get the...
Yeah, sort of.
How long is the game, I guess, is the big thing.
I don't know, because I've always died on the second or third floor. I have not gotten past that yet. So I don't really know how long it goes. Each floor probably takes like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, something like that.
Right.
Maybe less, depending on how fast you go and how slow you walk around everywhere, scared out of your mind or whatever.
Yeah, like if it takes 2 hours to get through one, yeah, I could see where the other modes would be nice.
Maybe. I think there's 4 biomes, and I think each one has 3 or 4 floors on it.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty long.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, it's really interesting. It's a little janky. It's an indie game. Some of the design is really cool and surreal and lo-fi. Some of the design is a little, I don't know, janky, right? Some of the monster animations are a little weird. But that might be intentional because it's also got this kind of underlying quirky humor to it as well, which is a nice reprieve from the like tenseness of some of the sections.
Yeah.
Also, somehow they just added in co-op and a battle royale mode. I don't know what that's all about, but that's also weird.
What?
What?
There's
like,
also
that
a
doesn't
co-op.
go at all with the game you just explained.
No, I mean, I think it's just using the mechanics of the game and like maybe everybody's a mimic or something. I don't know. Or you can like switch back and forth between a random object and being a person. I don't know. I don't know how it works. I just started playing the single player, but yeah, it's an interesting experience. It's a very unique game, and I'm gonna play it some more and see what's up.
Cool.
Golden
what about
Light.
you, Tom? You got any other games you've been doing?
I do. I've actually been playing some retro stuff. So we've been, well, I guess I've been watching a lot of like old school, here's how this series got to where it is, game documentaries, one of which was on Grand Theft Auto. So that took me back to my days of playing GTA 1 and 2, because I was big fans of the like OG GTAs before they went 3D. And I fired up Vice City. Like, 80s PS2 ass Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Nice.
It's still great. It doesn't control nearly as well as like GTA 5 does, right? But I love Vice City so much. I really, really do.
I never played it as much. I was always a 3 guy.
There are the soundtrack. The soundtrack you just can't beat. Let's see, there's a mod that basically adds in all like the small niceties that the mobile version of Vice City has, and it brings the PC up to like have controller support and high-res textures and just a lot of little quality of life improvements, and it makes the game great.
Yeah, I think GTAs need to have controller support if for no other reason but car driving.
Yeah, the driving and stuff.
Agreed. Yeah, and it's good. It works great. I forgot how bad the lock-on aiming was in Vice City compared to 4 and 5, but yeah, other than that, it's a great time. And the voice acting and character work in Vice City is still as good as it was when it came out. Like it has aged fucking pristinely.
I loved Vice City. It was a cool setting for a GTA game.
Oh yeah.
I love this setting.
The only other thing on my list for this week is Resident Evil 2. So again, going along with my playing through old school shit, I decided to fire up Grand Theft Auto 2 on my Game Boy, and I've been playing through the OG PlayStation Resident Evil 2. It's fun. It's kind of weird because I never played it originally. It doesn't feel bad. Like it feels old, but not bad. It's definitely a little bit more punishing than the remake, but it has easier to understand mechanics. Whereas in the remake, right, you headshot a zombie a whole lot. Why aren't they dying? Oh god, why aren't they dying? Oh god, they're still coming. Why aren't they dying? And in this game, it's like, okay, I can take 2 hits, and that's basically it on the harder difficulties. But I know that when I take a zombie's head off, it's dead. It's just dead.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good time. I kind of want to get into speedrunning that game, but there's a whole lot there that I need to get good with. But that's all I had.
What about Resident Evil 8?
Shit, I lied. That's not all I had. I did play a little bit of Resident Evil 8. I got through the first area. I got to keep things light and spoiler-free-ish, the dollhouse. I am uncomfortable.
That I watched. I've kind of given into the fact that I'm probably just not going to play Resident Evil 8, even though it looks cool. So I watched that whole dollhouse segment of the game on YouTube, and I have to say, very cool.
I am uncomfortable. I do not like it. I don't like what happens there. I don't like anything about it.
I saw a meme of it before I understood what was happening, and I'm like, what in the fuck is this meme about?
Yeah, it's I do not recommend the dollhouse. Like, it's a fine game. It's just I'd rather not.
It seemed a little I don't want to spoil it. I just like what they do with it. It's a unique section of that game.
Yeah, very unique.
All right. That's all you're gonna say about it. Shall we get to the news?
Yeah.
Capcom hates Ethan Winter's hands.
Yeah.
Sure.
A lot of bad things happen to that man's hands.
You have something here that you're gonna have to talk to because I didn't read it. Stadia is fine. Nothing to see here.
Yeah.
What's going on with Stadia?
They're like VP of product development or something left. I don't know. People are quitting and leaving that part of the company in droves. And Google had to put out a press statement saying, "Nah, it's cool. Look, we just released Resident Evil 7 on Stadia. We're perfectly fine. There is nothing to worry about here. Don't even worry. Keep paying us for Stadia because it is definitely not getting canceled."
They just
promised.
released a game on Stadia that its sequel just released.
It's fine.
Okay, making sure that's clear.
It's just fine.
And you know, we always had the running gag of initially Doom will run on everything because of modders. And then Skyrim will get ported to everything because Bethesda is fucking assholes. They won't fix it and they just want to make more money selling it everywhere. But let's be honest, GTA 5 is going to be next because it is coming to next gen. This means GTA 5 was, I believe it actually did have a port for. Yeah, so there was a 360, I believe. PS4 had versions. Next, the Xbox One, PS4
the PS3
versions.
had versions.
Well, that's the same. Xbox 360, PS3. Yeah. Then the Xbox One, PS4, and now the Xbox One X and the PS5. God damn, I'm still not used to it. Xbox One X. Is such a stupid fucking name.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it is.
But yeah,
Fuck
new
it.
gens. But you know what? It still will never
Xbox
probably
5.
be able to run on is the Switch. But yeah, that's cool. But what I'm really more interested in, 2 new ghosts being added to Phasmophobia on top of all sorts of other updates they've been adding to the games. This game seems even creepier than it was. Holy shit. The ghosts now when they get into a hunt, they initially go where they saw you last.
Yeah, they'll remember where you were.
They will open both doors of the closets. I think that one's relatively happened in the past.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the cool stuff is now you can hide behind furniture. Furniture breaks line of sight. But if it has line of sight on you, it will slowly get faster as it's tracking you, except for revenants. So you can't just kite it.
You can't
the
just
entire
kite
time.
it around. Yeah, that's a little bit unsettling.
They also made it to where the ghost can no longer be moving around at the start of the hunt because at the start of the hunt it would always move, but it couldn't kill you. It can no longer move, but the start of the hunt's shorter now.
Okay,
so you
that
get
makes
less
sense.
time to prepare, but it isn't moving. So yeah, they've done some really cool shit to this game, and I'm really excited to get back into it.
Yeah, I would like to try it out again sometime.
Same.
Disco Elysium is unbanned in Australia.
So this is kind of interesting. The ratings board in Australia is very, 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 very anti-drug in all of their games. So much so that instantly it'll get your game, if not an adults only rating, completely banned, which is what happened to Disco Elysium because it's a game about an alcoholic detective and you can give in and just say, fuck it, I'm going to do all the drugs, I'm going to be an alcoholic and whatever, damn the consequences. The ratings board actually decided to take another look and revise their review and revise their ban of Disco Elysium because they said, well, this is really, really tied into the story of the game, and it turns out that, yeah, the game doesn't incentivize drug use. It will give you temporary benefits, but you really, really, really pay for it later on if you decide to go down that path. And the game is more about a redemption arc and choosing not to use the easy way out when you're going through the story. And it's not just like how did they put it? I think they said something like it's not just like something on top of the game. It is inextricably linked into the story and the character writing of Disco Elysium, and you can't easily separate the drug use from the actual story the game wants to tell. So, in light of that, they have given it an 18+ rating, but it is being released.
Okay.
Well, it's cool that they're doing that, but damn, Australia is so tight on their games.
It's a fucking nanny state. We can call it what it is.
That's weird.
Anyway, there's one more thing of news, and fuck you, Tom. I just now saw what you did. The wait is over. The Nintendo Switch has the app we've all been waiting for.
Don't just like go into this. We gotta be real. All right. Did you guys pre-order? I don't pre-order anything. I preach that we don't pre-order shit. That it's bad. For everyone. But I pre-ordered it. I pre-ordered the collector's edition. I'm getting the boxed copy.
It comes physical edition.
Yeah, physical edition only. Like, I could not be more excited for this shit. I've been waiting for decades for a game like this to come out.
You see, I haven't been waiting for decades. Like I've trained myself to get around pretty well without it, but I am excited to get it. I will be getting it. I didn't pre-order just because I'm a little more patient on that. But ladies and gentlemen, the calculator is finally coming to Nintendo Switch.
It's happening. It's finally fucking here. Calculator on the Nintendo Switch.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so don't look too deep into what we're saying. It's literally what it sounds like. They're selling a calculator for the Switch for $10 fucking.
I'm into it.
I think it's idiotic. Like, dude, you're effectively a computer. Put a calculator on for free for your fucking customers if you need to. But don't sell a fucking calculator.
You gotta respect the dev though, right? Like the dev said there's no calculator on the Switch. I'm gonna make one. I'm gonna make it $10. I'm gonna shoot my shot. Let's go. How many people have given this developer $10 just for the memes? I was tempted. I really was.
If he had ability to do legitimate molding and creating it, he could have sold like a physical edition for like $30. It came with digital, but it was be a calculator shaped like a Switch. You know, people would have ate that shit up.
I would have bought that. That is stupid enough that I would have bought it.
Well, I mean, the idea of buying a calculator app for the Switch, I mean, it's kind of idiotic. But
A little bit.
teach their own. The dude's gonna make some money. A lot of money. Oh, anyway, I think that's all we got. You guys have anything else you want to throw in there?
I'm currently upset that Returnal's only on PS5 because that game looks super cool. I finally watched some gameplay of that.
I'm not
Hold
familiar.
on. I need to respond to chat real quick. Midnavi chiming in with just use the calculator on your phone. Excuse me. Do you always have your phone on you? I remember my math teacher in middle school saying, you're not going to walk around with a calculator in your pocket. You know what? They were right. I walk around with my phone. But if my Nintendo Switch has a calculator, you bet that shit ain't leaving my side.
Such a stupid thing. Anyway, everyone, thanks for joining us this week. Yeah, so we have YouTube, 72 Pin Connector on YouTube. Go there. We have shit there, old podcasts, other stuff. If you're over there, thank you. We are live every Saturday night, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Catch us on our Twitch, 72 Pin Connector. And jump in the games, jump in the chat. It's the best way to watch us. We have a website, 72pinconnector.com. It links you everywhere. It links you to our merch, links you to our Twitch, links us to your YouTube, and most importantly, links you to our Discord. Our Discord has a lot of really cool people to play a lot of different games. If you take anything from this podcast, it's just come join the community. A lot of cool people. Have a good time. And with that, that's all I got. You guys got any parting shots here?
I would have parting shots if I didn't consistently miss all of them in Battlefield. God damn it. Why am I so bad?
Aim Lab,
Yeah,
my
Aim
friend.
Lab,
Aim
yeah.
Lab.
Guess we all need to aim lab.
Well, and with that, ladies and gentlemen, all we got for you this week. So, till next week, game on.
Bye.